Howdy. This is Incinerator, the last movie figure I have to review. He's also the last of the 3 new molds of the All-Spark Power subline. The alt mode is an Osprey helicopter, like those seen at the beginning of the movie. It's a very well designed form at that. The proportions are pretty much spot on, and there are no obvious robot parts on him. He has a fair number of paint apps, and the mold detailing is excellent. On an alternator's level, in fact. You can see all sorts of panel lines and bolts. As for the general colour scheme, it's mostly okay. Grey isn't exactly dynamic, but certainly realistic for the vehicle. And this would look 100% realistic if it weren't for all that all-spark blue showing. The purple is a little better, but I'm sure it's meant for the robot mode only. For features, he has retractable landing gear. You can flip them up or down. He also has a cool gimmick where you push this back and his propellers spin. Blackout has a similar feature, but unlike him, you can position Incinerator's props forward. And now, he has a nifty aerial attack mode. His transformation, for the most part, is simple. But splitting the sides and snapping them back together can be an absolute pain in the arse. It's not as bad once you get the hang of it though. For automorphs, the first occurs when the waist springs forward. The second happens when you fall down the cockpit and the windows split. His robot mode is just as great, maybe even better. He's got lots of personality to him due to the way he's proportioned. And what also helps is that he actually has propellers for hands. Some have complained about this, but I think it's a great form of defense. Not to mention that the gimmick still works here, regardless of how you pose him. Impressive. Talking of articulation, he's got plenty of it. But because his gimmick is incorporated into his back piece, he ends up with a huge vehicle chunk on his back. It can cause balance issues at times, and it isn't removable, like Blackout's. There's also some kibble on his knees which doesn't lock anywhere and doesn't really look like anything. Okay, they could be knee or shin guards, but they're still loose. The mold detailing is as excellent here, and he gains a lot more all-spark blue and purple. Again, I don't mind the purple so much, and the all-spark blue breaks up all that dull grey at least, but there's far too much of it, even for the sake of the subline. I'd have preferred a dark blue with tiny all-spark blue accents, instead of the latter being the main colour of his shoulders and torso. He has some of that blue on his legs and heel spurs too, which would have been enough in my opinion. In general, I'd strongly recommend Incinerator if it weren't for all his flaws, the main one being that garish all-spark blue. But he's still a good figure and definitely worth picking up. Next I'm reviewing Universe Galvatron. Until then, till all I want.